How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to round 10 of the NRL. What a round of footy it's going to be. A lot of good games to look forward to this weekend. We've got a couple of big ones. We got the top of the table clash between the Raiders and the Bulldogs. We got Cowboys taking on the Panthers. We got the Battle of the Beaches on Sunday afternoon, Manly versus Cronulla. We've got Melbourne versus the new look West Tigers, who seem to be reborn. We've also got the Adam Reynolds Cup on Friday night, so there's a bit going on this weekend. If you're new around here, guys, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. And if you have not checked out the vlog, make sure you go and check it out. The vlog, I finally got it done. It's up on the channel. I posted it this afternoon. So go and check out the Warriors Cowboys vlog if you haven't already. A lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Really enjoyed the vlog, and I hope you guys can get an opportunity to go and check it out. But of course, before we get to the round 10 tips, I want to say hello to everybody in the live chat. Hello to Ethan. Hello to Luke, Melbourne Storm fan. Hello to SS Storm fan. Hello to Michael. Hello to Joshua. Hello to Rishi. He says he's watching it from the Sydney airport. Oh, he's watching it from the airport. He's going to Sydney. Very nice, Rishi. Hello to Diggs _96. Hello to everyone that's watching. Jason Reader as well. I hope everyone is doing good. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're new around here, guys, don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. And I appreciate you all for watching, as always. Anyway, let's get to the tips and predictions for round 10. And NRL round 10, guys, kicks off on Thursday night. And it is down there at CommBank Stadium in Sydney. We have got the Parramatta Eels taking on the Dolphins. Let me just fix up the graphics here. We'll go with the classic one here. Eels, Dolphins, Thursday night, 7:50 kickoff from CommBank Stadium. Parramatta are favourites here at $1.80. The Dolphins are at $2. Now, I'm a little bit surprised about the betting odds. I think I know the Dolphins have got a really bad record in Sydney, but $2 for the Dolphins is a little bit surprising for me. I think Parramatta haven't been that convincing. But anyway, looking at the teams, don't see a lot of changes from either side. Parramatta look very similar to last week. Still, Ryan Madison can't make the side for some reason. For the Dolphins, though, Connolly Lemmy will start in the second row, which I think is a good move. And Felice Carfusi in the front row with Frankie Mollo, Kurt Donaghy to hooker. Everything else looks to be the same for the Dolphins. Look, this is a weird game Thursday night. Eels and Dolphins. Don't really know. It's a hard game for everyone to tip because Parramatta, they've been terrible all season. And the Dolphins, they were on a bit of a winning streak there, and then obviously they lost to the Raiders, and then they were beaten by the Roosters last week. So it's hard to really read the Dolphins. For me, I know the Dolphins have got a bad record in Sydney, and I know it's hard to tip them in Sydney, but guys, I'm going to go the Dolphins. I think they've been more consistent this year, and I just think I think the Dolphins are a better team. I just think they're a better team. Parramatta, for me, I don't think they're a good side this year. I think their full pack is really poor, and I just think the Dolphins are a better side. And I am a little bit worried about the Dolphins' record in Sydney, but I think if they're ever going to win one down there, this might be the game. So I'm going to say Dolphins win on Thursday night. I'm going to go Dolphins by 10. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Herbie Farmworth in the centres. I think Herbie Farmworth can score the first try. Dolphins by 10. I'm just not convinced with Parramatta, and I don't trust them So I'm going to back the Dolphins in that one on Thursday night footy. Moving on to Friday night football, the 6 o'clock game, and it could be a snooze fest or it could be very entertaining. It's going to be one of the two. The Newcastle Knights take on the Gold Coast Titans from McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. The Knights are favourites here at $1.45. The Titans, $2.75. Now, the Knights had a good win last week, but to be fair, it was against a really depleted Rabbitohs team who didn't really have anybody playing, to be honest. And as for the Titans, well, they were competing with the Bulldogs there for a while. They were trying to get back in the game, but they just ran out of gas and they got beat in the end. But a big inclusion for the Titans this week is Jaden Campbell to halfback. That's a big in. Jaden Campbell is worth 10 to 12 points. He's very important to this side. I'm very surprised that Brian Kelly got picked. He had a shocker last week. I'm surprised that they didn't bring in Tony Francis or Alan Fitzgibbon, but I think they're giving Brian Kelly another opportunity to try and bounce back. Look, this is a hard game to pick because most people would say Newcastle, but the Titans, they're going to win one eventually. Like, I think I've lost 5 in a row. The Titans are going to win one eventually. They have won away this year. They did beat the Roosters in Sydney back in round 4. And look, guys, this is going to sound crazy coming from me, but this is my upset of the weekend. I'm going to go the Titans. I think the Titans can win this. I don't believe Newcastle are that good of a side. They only scored points last week because Souths were very depleted and they had no one out there. This week they're up against the Titans side who aren't that great, but they get back Jaden Campbell, who makes them a 10 to 12 point better side. And I know the Titans' record in Newcastle isn't all that good either, but I'm going to tip an upset. So I'm going to say the Titans will win on Friday night against the Knights, and I'm going to say the Titans will win by 6. And for the first try scorer, I'm going to go with AJ Brimson. I think Brimson's been playing some good football in a really bad Titans team. I think Brimson scores the first try. Titans by 6. Then my upset of the weekend. Moving on to the other game on Friday night, and we head out to the empty stadium that everyone likes to call a core stadium. There'll probably be about 8,000 in this game because the Broncos fans, I don't know how many will travel, and Souths just aren't playing great at the moment because of all the injuries. But we'll see what kind of crowd they get Friday night. The Broncos favourites here, obviously $1.30. The Rabbitohs are at $3.70. The Rabbitohs welcome back Latrell Mitchell. He goes to fullback. Jamie Humphries returns from injury. He goes straight to halfback. Havili to hooker as well. Try Gray to the bench. Lewis Dodd into the reserves. I don't know about that. I think Dodd should be in the team somewhere. But as for the Broncos, on the other hand, guys, they seem to be almost unchanged. Fletcher Sharp comes in onto the bench for the Broncos. Ezra Mann still not back, probably next week by all reports. Yeah, look, Rabbitohs, Broncos, Friday night. Rabbitohs still very depleted. A lot of injuries. They got a couple of inexperienced players in positions like Bentley Hope, and Fletcher Myers hasn't started on the wing, except I think he did last week, but he hasn't been on the wing a whole lot this year. Look, the Broncos should win this game. If they're serious, like, nothing against South, I just think they've got too many players out at the moment. If the Broncos are a serious team this year and they want to be competing for the top 4 and the top 6 even to try and get a home final, if they're fair income, they should be winning this game on Friday night. And I think they'll be winning this game quite well. So I'll go the Broncos by about 18 points here on Friday night. They should win the game comfortably. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Jesse Arthurs on the wing to score the first try. But if the Broncos lose this game on Friday night, there is going to be a lot of media, unfair media attention, some will say, but they will get bagged in the media all week next week if they lose this game on Friday night. Broncos by 18. First try scorer, Jesse Arthurs. Now, moving on to the game of the round. The top of the table clash. I cannot wait for this. Saturday, 3 o'clock from GIO Stadium in Canberra. We have a blockbuster game. The Raiders versus the Bulldogs. The Raiders are favourites here at $1.75. The Bulldogs, they are $2.05. This is a cracking game. Holy shit. The Raiders team seems to be unchanged. Horsburgh is named. He could be ruled out with that concussion rule, but if he is, I imagine Papali will start, and I imagine Simi Sasonga will probably go onto the bench if that happens. As for the Bulldogs, Matt Burton is back. Bailey Haywood goes back to the bench. Jacob Preston was actually named to play, but he lost at the NRL judiciary about half an hour ago. So I'm assuming that Jamin Salmon will move to the second row. Kurt Mann will probably go to lock, which means I imagine Blake Taff will go onto the bench. So it'll be interesting how the Bulldogs do it, but that's what I think what they will do. But look, what a game, guys. So you got second versus first. If Canberra win, I think they'll be on top of the ladder. This is a hell of a game to look forward to. Raiders, Bulldogs, Saturday, 3 o'clock. If you're not watching this game on Saturday, there's something wrong with you. This is going to be a cracking game. For me, I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders in this game. I think at home, they'll win. The Bulldogs have got a couple out. Obviously, no Tupanua, no Jacob Preston now. So they're missing a couple of back rowers. Josh Curran's still out. So they're missing a few forwards, the Dogs. They do get Burton back, but it's a tough ask. So I'm going to go the Raiders here, guys. Raiders by 4 points. First try scorer. I reckon the Bulldogs might score the first try. I'm going to go Bronson Sherry to score the first try of the game, but the Raiders to win by 4. Should be a cracking game to start off Super Saturday. Looking forward to that one. Raiders by 4. All right. The middle game of Super Saturday, the 5:30 game. We've got the Dragons taking on the Warriors from Wynn Stadium in Wollongong, 5:30 kickoff. Warriors are the favourites here, $1.70. The Dragons are at $2.10. Looking at the Dragons team, they look very similar to last week. DeBellin on the bench once again. Hamish Stewart at lock forward. Loco Pacifica Tonga will start. He will make his NRL debut in jersey number 17. Congratulations to him and all the best. As for the Warriors, they welcome back Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. That's a big inclusion there. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is also named in the reserves. So interesting stuff there for the Warriors. Capewell goes to the centres with the injured Ellie Leotawa is out with an injury. Look, this is a tough game to pick because the Warriors have got a very bad record at Wollongong. I think they've won like 3 times there in the last 20 years or something. They've got a pretty shit record. They did win there a couple of years ago. I think it was 2023. They had a big win there on a Thursday night from memory or a Friday night. But, it's so hard to pick because the Dragons haven't won since that game at Brookvale, and they need to bounce back at some point. But I just like the Warriors in this game. I like the Warriors here. I think they get it done. I think the Warriors get it done, guys. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think Dallin's a big inclusion. I don't like Capewell in the centres, but I think the Warriors will win, guys. So I'm going to go the Warriors by 6. I think it will be a really good game. I think it'll be close. First try scorer, I'm going to go the Dragons to score first. I reckon Valentine Holmes might score the first try. Running at Kurt Capewell is not really a centre. I can see Val Holmes running over him and scoring the first try of the game. But Warriors to win by 6 should be a good game on Super Saturday. The Saturday night main event game, the 7:35 kickoff, up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. It is my beloved North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Penrith Panthers. The Panthers are favourites here at $1.60. The Cowboys are at $2.40. Now, I'm expecting at least 20,000 for this game. There should be a good crowd. Cowboys fans, if you're up in Townsville, make sure you get to the game. So, obviously, not really many changes at all, although, so Cotter's out, so McIntyre goes to lock forward, and McKaylee goes to the bench. Also, for the Panthers, they welcome back Brian Tyle on the wing, Mitch Kenny to hooker, Thomas Jenkins goes to the bench, and Luke Garner in the centers again. Not sure why, but he is. If you remember, guys, round 5, the Cowboys actually played the Panthers down there in Sydney, and they were without Reuben Cotter on that night, and we still managed to win that game. So I don't think Reuben Cotter being out is going to affect us too much, considering we already beat Penrith without Cotter only a few weeks ago. I know it's hard to beat Penrith twice in 1 year, but you got to back the boys. You got to back the boys. Always back them in. Cowboys to win on Saturday night. I think it will be a good game, though. I'll say Cowboys by 8. I think we can get away with a win. I think we can get away with a 8-point win. So Cowboys by 8 on Saturday night. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Scott Drinkwater. I think Drinkwater can go over for the first try, but Cowboys to win should be a great game. And I'll be doing a live stream watch along for this game like I did for the game against the Titans the other week. So make sure you tune in to that on Saturday night. I'll let you guys know more of the details for that on Instagram. But yeah, go to the Cowboys and bring on Saturday night. Moving on to Sunday football now, and the first game is at 2 o'clock down there in Melbourne at Amy Park. We've got the Storm taking on the West Tigers, and the Storm, very short price favourites here at $1.15. The Tigers are at $5. I don't think this current Tigers team, the way they've been playing, should be $5. I think the odds should be a bit shorter than that for the Tigers, maybe like $3.20. But anyway, for the Storm, they don't have really any changes at all by the looks of it. It actually looks like the same team as last week. Joe Chen on the bench. I don't know if he played last week, but he's there in jersey number 17. As for the Tigers, Brent Naden has been named, but is in a little bit of doubt. So I'm assuming Fatape will come in if there's any doubt on Naden. Everything else for the Tigers looks pretty straightforward. Look, Melbourne don't normally lose 2 in a row. But I tell you what, the Tigers will be up for this. They will go down there with a against all odds mentality. And if Melbourne are off their game just a little bit, the Tigers could definitely ruffle some feathers here. So I think Melbourne will win, but I think this will be a really good game. I'm going to go the Melbourne Storm by 8. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what everyone thinks. Storm by 8 points. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Eli Katoa. That's going to be, obviously, Eli Katoa in good form. I think he'll score first try in the back row. Storm by 8. But keep in mind, Stefano versus the Tigers. That's going to be interesting. So you can call it the Stefano Cup if you want, but that'll be interesting. Stefano versus the Tigers. Storm by 8. Eli Katoa scored the first try. And the final game of the round, Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock from Brookvale Oval, the Battle of the Beaches, Manly versus Cronulla. Manly and the Sharks. Should be a good game, this one. Sunday, 4 o'clock, Brookvale Oval. These sides only played a month ago as well, and on that occasion, the Sharks got the job done but there was no Tommy Turbo in that game. Looking at the odds, Manly favourites at home, $1.65. The Sharks at $2.25. Tough game to pick this one. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm just having a quick look at the team list. If there's any changes. Jake Trbojevic is back. He goes to the front row with Siwa Takiyaho. Tavaga goes to jersey number 13. Tommy Talau on the bench. As for the Sharks, they look to be unchanged from last week. Jesse Colgan on the bench once again. Taku Tapawu could come in for Jesse Colgan, but I guess we won't know until probably a day before the game or an hour before kickoff. Look, the Sharks did beat Manly a few weeks ago, and it wasn't that convincing. Now that Tommy Turbo is back, I think Manly are going to win this game. I like Manly here. I think they can get away with it. I'm going to go Manly by 10, guys. Manly by 10. First try scorer. I reckon the Sharks might score first. I'm going to go Britton Nakora, the Sharks' right edge back row, to score the first try, but Manly to win by 10. So we'll go Manly in that one. All right, we'll go through the tips again real quick in case you missed it. So Eels, Dolphins. I'm going to go the Dolphins 1-12. Knights and Titans. I'm going to go the Gold Coast here 1-12. Broncos to beat the Rabbitohs 13+. Raiders to beat the Bulldogs 1-12. Warriors to beat the Dragons 1-12. Cowboys to beat the Panthers 1-12. Melbourne to beat the Tigers 1-12. And Manly to beat the Sharks 1-12. Anyway, guys, they're my tips for round 10. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Cowboys TV podcast. Make sure you go and check out the Warriors Cowboys vlog. If you haven't already, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the vlog. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good luck with your tips. And I'll see you guys in the next one.